Dose one. Wrong choice.
Welcome to the 10 Guys, One Podcast. I'm Dex. That's Parker. Hold on. Where's our little screen?
What do you mean, where's our little screen?
Are we not doing our screen thingy?
What screen thingy?
Like how before it recorded us and like it would jump. Are you recording this on video too?
Yeah.
Oh. Well then.
Wait, are you thinking about like from the perspective of the
Yeah, I
viewer
don't
watching
wanna
the
talk
video?
about it anymore.
You've never seen that view before during a podcast, ever.
No, did we not see that last time?
No, dude, it's just like it's all on my screen and then it's all recorded and put on like this other monitor.
All right, Miller. Cut all that out. And then
Leave it in, brother.
Let's just go this. So it's the 10 guys, one podcast, 10 guys, one cup, one goal. I'm Parker, and that's Dex. Fuck.
Perfect. Send it. Ship it. We're done with this one.
We know more than you think and less than you'd expect. So
more than you think and less than you know?
Than you'd expect.
It's whatever. Do you want to just send it from here?
Yeah, let's fucking go. So, Parker, where the fuck was the podcast last week?
It was in our hearts. You were in Denver and we just didn't do it. It was nice to take a break. Did you like a break?
It was all right. It was nice being on vacation. I didn't like not doing this because getting out of the rhythm sucked.
Yeah.
Like tonight before we did this, I was like, oh God, now that we're going, I'm back in it.
Right.
It's like fucking ecstasy running through my veins, even though I've never done ecstasy, but it's what I think it would feel like.
Right. Yeah. It's good to be. It's the same exact feeling on my part. Like just getting out of rhythm sucked. It was nice to take it off.
Never again?
Yeah, never again. Deal. Never ever will we ever take a Wednesday
Maybe when
off.
the season's over, we'll take like a 2-week hiatus, and then we'll
Oh,
go
yeah.
in and we'll start college basketball because we know a lot about that.
Yeah, we gonna learn. We gonna learn today.
All right, Parker, my favorite segment. Let's go.
Let's see. Blah blah blah. Next gen stat. Let's go. First next gen stat. How many rushing touchdowns does Frank Gore have this season?
2.
0, motherfucker.
Oh, damn it. I was wondering.
Yeah, I'm crazy.
How
right?
many yards does he have? Do you know?
No, I don't know that. I don't
Cool.
have that on my
That's my bad.
Twitter feed. This is just a funny little tweet that I
Hold
saw.
on, real quick before you all go forward. Parker blocked me on Twitter, so I couldn't follow the people he follows.
Yeah, basically, that's not why. What I do is I get all my next gen stats just from following weird nerds on Twitter, and so I'll either like it or retweet it depending on how much I like it, so I can like pull it up for this, and I can't let Dex see that ahead of time because it's a lot of questionnaire stuff. Anyways, I saw this other tweet that I liked. Scientists believe that the first person to live to be 150 years old has already been born, and his name is Frank Gore. Okay.
And he'll be playing for the Baltimore Ravens.
He'll be playing for someone at 150, that's for
Yep.
sure. Let's see. That's a pro Aaron Jones stat, so we're going to act like that one doesn't exist. All right, this is the one that's kind of hard to phrase. Okay. So I have a list of teams here, and it's all teams who, through 9 games, had an 11 plus 11 turnover differential. Did I say that right? Do you get that?
Yes.
So, like, literally in the last century, all of these teams through 9 games have a plus 11 turnover differential.
So
they all have 11 more takeaways than giveaways.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so all of these teams, except for one, have at the very least a 55.6 win percentage. Except for one. You know who that is, and can you guess their win percentage? It's this year.
Can you give me a hint? Is it lower than 55?
Oh fuck yeah, it's lower. It's the only team. It's probably a list of like maybe 30 teams.
In how many years?
Since the inception of the NFL. The last century is what the statistic says.
So I just have to guess which team it is?
Yeah.
The Cardinals?
No, it's the Browns. They have an 11 plus 11 turnover differential, and their win percentage is 27.8. They're the only team
God.
to do that. Like I'm looking down this, there's 4 100% win percentages with that. The worst is there's about 10 55% win percentages. 10 teams. So like we got like the 2000 Broncos, 2001 Browns. There's it's all over the place, but
Did you hear what Baker Mayfield said after he won? He destroyed the fucking Falcons.
no, what did he say?
In his interview, like, what's going on? He's like, I just woke. And they asked him like, what was going on? He said, I just woke up feeling dangerous.
Oh
And
yeah, I did
was
see
like,
that one.
Damn. I was like that. Like if I said that, that's gay. But I was like, my nipples got hard. I was
That's
like,
gay.
fuck yeah.
If
was
I
like-
say that, it's gay.
If we ever go to war, I'm following that motherfucker in. Like that. I was like, he has the most swag of a quarterback I think I've ever seen in my life.
He is who Josh Rosen was trying to be during his draft presser.
Oh, and Josh Rosen's nowhere near him.
No.
Like the difference is like Baker Mayfield can go to an all black party and fit in.
That's the difference between them. The only thing.
Well, that's what we're gonna go with. This is the biggest
That's
one.
what we're going with today. All right, that's those are my hashtag Parker's fun fact time. Hashtag next gen stats, dude. The week off is hard. Jesus Christ.
Right? We're rusty. We're getting it off. Now, with that, since we had a week
Fucking
off,
leaked,
we're gonna
boys.
jump in real quick. We don't want to go too much into it because it's already been an entire week past it. But we're gonna do the week 9 recap. So this was the weekend while we were in Colorado. If you don't know, myself, Parker Johnson, Andrew Miller, Amber Arias, I was gonna say Armbar, and I always do that.
Armbar
Paul
Arias.
Kirkshick. We're all in Denver visiting Gab and Daniel.
Yeah, we were. It was a fucking blast. I went to the Broncos game. Good time,
We unfortunately went to the Broncos game.
dude. It was a good stadium.
Fuck, yes it was, but god damn that loss. Like how? All right, let's go into the games.
Oh, There was a moment. I thought this was pretty cool when we right when we walked into the stadium and like right when we were about to go up to our seats, whatever. Like something happened positive for the Broncos and everyone just started cheering. And like I look over at Amber, it's like right when we walk out and like you see all the seats and shit, and she just her eyes lit up and she's like, "Oh my god!" And I was like so happy inside in that exact moment.
She embraced the like one stupidity of how like we're all affected by something we have nothing to be like we're not a part of it.
It's
Like we don't
exactly-
make this not we don't benefit. You get
We
what I'm
don't do
trying to
this.
say.
She straight up told me, it was like, it's all these people in one place giving a shit about the same thing. It was really cool. I was like, yeah.
That's what I tried saying.
Little
but I
sad.
failed. All right, let's
go
go.
into the games.
We're gonna start with Charlie versus Mike. Again, week 9 recap. This was 2 weeks ago. Charlie threw up 122 on Mike's 102. A typical Mike score.
This is week 9. Mike had 101, motherfucker.
I
got
did
the
I round
stats
up?
right
Was it
here.
101.8?
It was 101.9.
Well, motherfucker, look at my stats that I do since I write these out every week. And sometimes
True,
I
that's
don't
true.
like putting the decimal, and sometimes I do. Like as you see, the next one was Miller versus Dex. Miller had 97. Dex had 103.4 because 103.4 is better than 103.
That's true. You're right. I'm sorry. I never should have said anything.
All right, I have this one next, but we're gonna save it for last. We're gonna jump to Gabe versus Paul, which was a fucking nail biter.
Yep.
Gabe pulling out 118.8 against Paul's 123.5. Pretty fucking close right there.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the Dustin Brad. Fucking Brad just takes down Goliath. Brad 125.6 to Dustin's 122.2.
I didn't even realize that happened just because we didn't do the podcast. I don't know why I didn't notice that.
Well, it's hard too because one, we were all there. So like I felt like I spent the least amount of time looking at fantasy than I ever have.
Yeah, me too. It was a nice week off from giving a shit, especially when your team just scores 172 and a half and you're not even
What the
paying
fuck?
attention.
That was the next thing we're going to.
Segue. I'm taking this train off the rails,
Parker
motherfucker.
literally dropped the fucking A bomb on Daniel.
The most points that will ever be scored in this league, hands down for sure.
I was done. I was like, Parker broke the record, the highest score ever. Jesus fucking Christ.
I even invented myself a little emoji for Slacks so that I could constantly rub my dick in other people's faces.
Luckily for Daniel, like his team didn't like do super well.
Mhm.
Like he still would have beat 3 or 4 people, but like it wasn't nothing like fuck. Like I
he
put up
coulda.
140.
Yeah.
And which is pretty like your worst player was Devin Funches with 6.4.
Yeah,
Oh
that-
no, I guess your kicker had 5. But
yeah,
like
he doesn't count.
yeah.
He's had a great stat line all year, anyways.
Yeah, you had 1, 2, 3, 4 people below 10, 1, 2, 3 people above 20, 1 above 30, 1 almost at 20. So yeah, that was a great fucking week.
It's a good
We'll
day.
probably never see a score like that again.
The Bears at 29 is what really sank it in.
Yeah, the Bears fucking just they started out super hot too. It was like first play, pick 6. Worried me a little bit because Trubisky, but luckily Miller was talking mad shit to me on this trip and it was like in my face. And like I was like, Miller, I'm gonna punch you. And this is not the day. We're going to the Broncos game. I'm already stressed out. You're getting my face.
Watching you all morning stressed about if Miller was gonna look at his lineup to replace Stephon Diggs. Because like the notification came through, and of course Miller's busy not giving a shit all morning. Like 20 minutes before we go to the stadium and start like really tearing it down, he like switches it out, and we all look and it's like, oh, okay, he already found it.
All right, let's go into that real quick because I went through some fucking shit.
Yeah.
So Charlie and I have a super great app that not everyone else has, but their apps have caught up to ours pretty quickly. But it was Saturday night. We're all at dinner, and I get the update that Stephon Diggs most likely won't play. And I'm like, what the fuck do I do? So the first thing I do is I text Charlie, and I was like, don't say this in the group. You let him find out on his own. And he's like, fine. So I just immediately start ordering more drinks. And I was like, all right, Miller, we're going out. Let's fucking go out. So we go out. Luckily for me, Miller wanted to buy more drinks than I want to do. So Miller started buying us shots. So we're just drinking nonstop. Then I'm planting ices for him. I'm hiding his charger. Somehow I lost my charger in the same fucking time. So like both of our chargers were gone. And then in the morning we wake up and I'm like, all right, I got to get him drunk. And then finally I check like an hour before the game. I was like, oh, he already switched it out. He already knows. And I did all that work for nothing. I thought I was going to like pull one up over him.
That was the closest we've ever been to being like the league, the fantasy football documentary. You've heard of that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the closest we've gotten, is hiding people's phone chargers and getting them drunk on purpose so they don't check their lineups. That's how you know we're getting somewhere with this.
To be fair, I was like, I will not stop him from asking anyone or doing anything. I'm just going to turn his sales that benefit me. Like
Alright.
maybe taking his charger was a little far. I didn't take it. I hid it
You put it in his bag.
in his bag. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, look in your own bag, dumbass.
Yeah, motherfucker.
All right. So that was that. Now, all right, I guess Denver recap. We kind of already went over it. We had fun. RIP to their toilet and couch.
Yeah, I heard it smelled like some farts, dude.
Yeah, bad. You weren't there. Oh, I think it was Monday night. It was me, Miller, and Daniel watching Suits on their couch. Daniel would not stop fucking farting. Like, it was so bad. At one point, Daniel already went to bed because he worked the next day, and I got up to go pee, and we were like under covers because it was cold as shit. I lifted the covers up, and like you just smelt the wafting of his farts. And Miller and I were like, "What the fuck?" Like it was just like we would like bring up all the dust, and it was dirty fart dust in the air.
Dirty fart dust. Yeah, I had some life-changing experiences in the week following that when I finally got home.
For the good or bad.
It's good. There's a reason that I started eating Fiber One bars like a week ahead of time, just to like prepare everything to be flushed out as needed.
I did a 3-day juice cleanse before just to be prepared.
Before?
Yes, I did it before. I was like, fuck, I already knew how bad. Tell us about the story about how you got free beer.
Oh yeah, so when we left the stadium, basically like we walked out and there was like a little like a VIP concourse area, I guess, like off to the side. No one was at it. So we just walked into it. There's no security or anything. And they just had open fridges and there was fucking tall boys of Bud Light in there. And we like kind of like sneak over to it and crack it open and like check it. And then we popped it and we drank for like 20 minutes before someone came by and was like, hey, we're clearing out the stadium. You guys should leave. And then we cheersed them and left with our new beers. Very nice. Good life.
Stealing brewskis and smoking doobies. That's what we do, boys.
There was no doobies.
There wasn't.
At the
but
stadium, at least.
It sounded cooler, Parker.
It did. It sounded very cool.
All right.
All right, week 10.
Week 10. So Parker broke the fucking record and we thought it was all done. Not today. The fucking champ came back with 173. He literally beat you by 0.5.
Yeah, that's some hooey.
The only way it'd be worse is if it was 0.1.
I was really hoping I'd wake up to a stat correction or something. It just sucks overall, man.
Miller, I didn't even put your score in here.
He scored 125.1.
Okay, so Paul put up 173. Miller had 125.1.
Good week from Miller, but goddamn, there's just nothing you can do, man.
Yeah, that's just like,
It's the bullshit of
That's-
fantasy football.
yep, that's how it goes. And which is crazy because like Paul's had like 100-point weeks and he's had 173-point weeks.
Like, speak of the devil, I had 170, and then the next week, this week, I hit 94. Super shitty.
To Mike's 120.
To Mike's 120. Like, Mike, it was like one of Mike's highest scoring games of the year. Like, he's had 120
Ever.
games.
That might have been Mike's highest scoring game.
It wasn't.
ever.
I checked. I wanted to talk about that if it was.
No,
but
I
he's
was
had
making
higher.
a joke. We got to work on this. Our report's not clicking like usual.
It's true. We need to get back into that
Uh,
rhythm. But yeah,
so,
dude,
yeah.
like the trade deadline killed me, dude. Like Golden Tate getting moved over, and then there was something else like Kiki, obviously value died.
No, what happened was the teams like blew other teams out,
That
but your
happened.
players weren't the ones scoring, and then they sat your players because they're like the all-stars.
And AJ Green got hurt. So like I guess it's like a segue into this week. My team got shitty in a week, dude. People who are ranking me number 1 in the power rankings, like an allusion to later in the podcast. We can talk we can talk referentially to other things that everybody knows has happened, even though it's on the docket. But yeah, like my team's gotten bad. People who are ranking me 1 are wrong.
Your team has gotten bad for maybe a week though. I swear, you do this fucking thing where you like pity me, fantasy
No, my
god.
team, it's not good right now. Like if I lose out, which is looking possible if AJ doesn't come back, I could not make the playoffs. That's not like fake pity. That's like actually could happen. It's fear, real fear.
What the fuck ever. All right, you lost to Mike.
Yep.
Justin beat Daniel 114.9 to Daniel's 95.3. Jesus fucking Christ, Daniel, get it together.
Yeah, who would score under 96 points, dude?
No, who would be this bad for this many weeks in a row?
Yeah, that is. Get your shit together, Daniel.
Like you were the chosen one, Anakin. That's literally how I feel watching you from the beginning of the season too. Like, all right, so Daniel blames me for him doing bad, and like I cursed him just because I've supported him this whole time.
Mhm.
I've literally from the blog I wrote said Daniel has the best team.
Mhm.
I had him ranked number 1. So to be fair, I've always thought Daniel's team was the best. But fucking injuries have fucked him. Sony Michelle went from a top 10 running back to, I don't know, a solid bench player.
Dude, I don't even know what the Patriots were fucking doing this week. I watched the game. They just decided to take a huge shit on the field and then leave. It was like literally they do 3 and outs when 2 of them were just like forced passes to Gordon under coverage. I don't know what their game plan was whatsoever.
I think sometimes they're just like, fuck, we should just whatever. Like they're like, let's not even worry about this week. Let's just go out there and like what happens, happens. Like they do the same like 3 plays. Like literally, it was like deep ball Josh Gordon, deep ball Josh Gordon, deep ball Josh Gordon. Maybe try and throw like a slant to Julian Edelman or like a dump down to James White that wasn't like done right.
They had one drive where they did that like 2 or 3 times in the whole drive, and they were killing it. And then they was just like a flag and a throw to Gordon, and they were out suddenly. It was terrible. Anyways, enough about that shit game.
Yes. All right. So we talked about that. Now, Gabe versus Brad, which was the fucking like. So Parker's dumbass like has to come out and be like, no one should hope on like these 2 teams winning them the week.
I just
And
wanted to
then-
have some fun, man. No one was talking.
Well, you fuck like because one, I had the lead, Gabe had the lead, Brad had a player, Brad had 2 players, Charlie had a player, and all of a sudden they just start scoring, and I know like I was gonna go to bed early and I couldn't. I had to wait till the fucking end of the game. but Gabe beat Brad 135.7 to Brad's 125.3, which would have been over if Eli wouldn't have overthrown Odell Beckham in the last 2 minutes.
Oh my God.
That was like a 40-yard touchdown.
There was two things. Yeah, there was that. There was the one-handed attempted catch that ODB dropped, and then the very last bomb, like 50 yards down the field or something. He underthrew it, I think, and that's what killed
was
him.
it?
Yeah.
Whatever. Eli fucked it up.
I stood up when that happened. I was like, "Oh my God, this is gonna change everything in the league." Because Brad and Gabe are like, they're pretty locked up over like that position.
Yeah, we didn't put it in here. We'll talk about it next though. They're neck and neck, yeah, too. Also, Gabe literally said, "Fuck the fantasy gods." Like the balls on Gabe. So we talk a lot of shit about Gabe.
Were you
That
scared that they would
motherfucker's
just
got some
kill us all?
cojones on his fucking ass like that? He must be like fucking extra large pants to keep those things in, because Gabe doesn't give a fuck.
Ballsy, certainly ballsy.
And then I beat Charlie 140.1 to 134.1, which, like, I was up on Charlie by 40 points. And then fucking Breda, of all people,
Burrito.
touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. I would like to say I had 3 players score me 0, and I still put up 140.
Pretty good. You know,
Is that good or bad? Like, I'll take it,
Good.
but I don't want that to be how I score 140.
you know, to Gabe's credit and cursing the gods, nothing else has worked out for him so far this season. So he's got to try everything, I guess.
That's a good one. All right. Before we go to next week's pick'ems, let's go over the standings real quick. Currently, where we're at.
Oh, by the way, we did do pick'em for last week. We got everything right, each of us. So cheers to us.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Think.
Wait, you picked yourself to lose?
Yeah, dude, we got everything right.
Okay,
Obviously.
cool. As long as we both agree. So Charlie knocked those up 5 games each. Positive. We in the plus. If we would have bet, we'd be winning money. All right. So Miller in last place, 3-7. He's technically not out of the playoffs, but pretty much. It's very
3-7.
difficult for him to make. He needs a lot of people to lose and him to win out. But pretty much Miller's out. Then you got Madison.
We were talking about this in Slack today too. He's had the worst luck in the whole league this year, for sure.
By far.
He's putting up more points than everyone in front of him. He'd be top 4 based on points for.
Yes. So points for, he'd be top 4. And points against, like,
he's number 1.
He is 235, whatever. Yep, 35 points ahead of Mike. So there's been 235 more points scored on him than Mike. And Mike's in second to last with 4 and 6.
That's crazy, man.
Miller hit, like, fuck that guy. He's got multiple weeks of 120 and 130 plus where he lost.
I would like to see the playoff bracket in a theoretical world where we had the rule set where you play one game against the average.
That's hilarious because I talked to Miller about that today, and he was like, "No, I don't want that." He's like, "I like the aspect of this being luck. Like, it's part of it.
Yeah.
That's like part of it's like gambling.
It's an important part.
Like
it keeps us
when
from
you
taking
roll
it
the
too
dice
seriously, right?
on your like red or black, or you craps or blackjack. Like, it's like, yeah, that's part of it. It's fun that like the pain and then the joy of winning. It's like it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, and this way, none of us take fantasy football too seriously. Obviously,
Clearly,
done that.
none of us.
None of us have
at
taken
all.
this too serious.
But Mike's in second to last at 4 and 6, followed by like somehow, I don't even know, Dex also in 8th at 4 and 6, tied with Mike currently. Then we got Gabe at 5 and 5, Charlie at 5 and 5, Brad at 5 and 5, and Daniel at 5 and 5. Sorry, Brad at the top of the 5 and 5 with the most points. Then it goes to Paul Parker with the most points in the league, 1,342. What is that? 9 points ahead of Paul.
Yep.
And then Dustin alone at the top of the fucking mountain, 7 and 3. Dustin is pretty much locked up a playoff spot. Technically, you and Paul haven't, but technically you have. Like,
those are opposite statements.
So I guess you pretty much have, but you technically haven't. Like, if you both lost out and somehow you averaged 50 points a week and everyone else got like 150 a week, yeah, you wouldn't make it.
So basically, if we lost out, we would just be tying anyways, and we'd win off our points scored, right?
Yeah, but unless you guys like started only scoring like if you scored 90 points every week from here on out, and like the people who caught you were scoring 150 here on out.
It's possible. It's
It's
possible at this
possible.
point.
So that's that. Now let's go into week 11 pick'ems.
All right.
I don't know why I put this one at the top. Dex versus Brad.
Okay. Dex v. Brad. Let's go with you got Fournette back?
I got 4 net back, buddy.
Going with Brad.
Well, I'm going with Dex. And on top of that, Brad, you want to live that daddy Dex life? I bet you a daddy Dex big ice, you little bitch.
Ooh, the call out he wasn't even there to hear.
I know, I'm going to text him just so, because this won't be out in time for Thursday night's game.
That's very nice of you. You live with him. You're gonna text him your ice challenge.
I go to bed before he gets home, and then
Yeah.
like I leave before, or usually he wakes up and goes to the gym when I'm leaving.
What a
To work.
mature, what a mature person.
So Miller versus Daniel.
Miller versus Daniel. I'm gonna go Miller on this one.
I got Daniel.
Really?
Yes, I told you Daniel's gonna win out.
That's true. Yeah. you
Daniel
did say
won't lose
that.
another game.
Strong calls. Strong calls.
Gabe versus Parker.
I don't know if you're gonna make fun of me, but I don't think I'm gonna win this one, dude. I
Well,
really don't.
I'm picking you. So
Really? I'm picking
yes.
Gabe. I'm not fucking kidding. Like I know.
What a pussy! This motherfucking
I'm-
bitch ass boy.
I mean,
Gabe paid $8 on a wide receiver and gets cucked by Dex.
dude. Yeah, you did beat me in the waiver wire today. Same player. You just have worse standings. But no, dude, I'm starting Jalen Richard and Theo Riddick and Golden Tate and Devin Funchess. Like,
Theo Riddick just got back.
he didn't just get back. He's been
Yeah,
playing.
he was like not playing.
No,
was
dude,
in-
he scored 9 points last week. Shut the fuck up.
What about the 2 weeks before that?
7.1
Okay, shut the fuck up.
and then
Dexter.
0.
All right. So I got Parker. Parker's got Gabe.
It sucks, but I can look at it objectively, you know.
Mike versus Dustin.
I got Dustin on this one.
I also have Dustin. Paul versus Charlie. I'm gonna take Paulcher.
It's a hard one. They're projected so similarly. I'm gonna look at the box score real quick for our viewers.
Just so you all know, I'm picking people to win that I need to win to help me benefit into making the playoffs. And I
Right.
just thought about this. Is this gonna backfire? Because I have not been that correct this year.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I
are
was
you
just like, fuck.
you're just playing checkers? You need to be playing chess. dude.
Marbles.
Marbles.
uh,
Let me take. It's gotta be Paul. I like his team more. Unless CMC just has a blow up game. CMC and Zeke would have to both kill.
what do
it.
you mean? I played Charlie and they killed it.
I'm just saying that's. I don't know how Zeke's been doing. Like,
He had a good
actually.
game last week.
Fuck him,
He's
he had
so
33-point game, dude.
the fucking Cowboys are the dumbest, or like they're making a run with the fucking Raiders right now on like just stupid, like how are things going? I don't know. Dak Prescott's gonna have a job next year, but I don't know why. He should be a backup.
Really? I haven't watched one of their games in like maybe 2 years, dude. Like,
I just don't think he has this talent anymore, which is crazy because they're always primetime, Parker. I don't know how you haven't watched one of their fucking
probably
games.
watched. I just don't. I don't remember. That's what I really meant to say.
Exactly. That is my fucking point. You don't remember it.
Yeah, and you touched on it, but the Raiders, I've never seen a team like throwing so fucking hard in my life, like clearly throwing their season on purpose. It's pretty crazy. Sucks to be starting Jalen Richard this week.
Never mind. All right. So those were the week 11 pick'ems. Now we're going to jump into a little thing I like to call heyparkerj.com. Parker, give us a 30-second background while I run and go take a piss.
Damn. All right, lucky you.
Keep it going.
All right. Let's see. Hey guys. Let's see. The last like 5 weeks or so, I've been working on basically just like shipping this power ranking thing that we have. You've all played with it already. I basically just need to fill up airtime while Dex takes probably the longest piss of all time. I want to do like a lot more things with it. Don't feel pressured to submit rankings because I'd rather like just the people who like want to do it. And then basically I'm just gonna be playing with the data and like I kind of want to like a little bit of spoilers. I want to kind of visualize everyone's perceived value throughout the year as per the view of the league. So there may or may not be a chart and or graph in the future, and some other fun ways to just help like visualize and have fun. It's a fun little side project. I've really enjoyed doing it. Dex takes a long time to piss. God damn. Dex just hit his funny bone, his dick. All right, Dex. You elaborate on what I just said. I gotta grab a beer real quick.
All right. So Parker likes alcohol, that Gucci beer too. But after you, so Parker spent a lot of time on making this website. It's pretty fucking dope, as you've all seen. Now we're gonna go over the standings of Parker's website, which is pretty fucking cool.
Thanks.
Unfortunately, you guys are all dumb motherfuckers.
All right.
So after we've all made our power rankings on a wonderful website, Mike is in dead last place.
With 8.8
Dex
average ranking.
is in 9th place with 7.7. Miller at 8th place with 7.
Underrated.
Daniel underrated?
Andrew's underrated, yeah. We talked about his points for and
Yes.
against.
But like, how do you look at a power ranking? That'd be like,
It's
I
hard.
guess you're right. You're right. I can't compare this to a sport because it's not. We're basing off of luck.
I try to think of it like and let me call myself out immediately. I have Andrew ranked 10th right now, which is a fucking joke. I was convinced during today's conversations that he's underrated. So I need to redo mine. By the way, if you do submit again, it'll just like overwrite your old one so you can do that. But yeah, I kind of try to think of it like college. Like if a team loses to another team, it like it's hard because in college like they actually do play each other so you can actually see it. But like
Where are you going with this, bud?
I was trying to just like kind of like have a mental model of what power rankings should be viewed as. Like
So I'm gonna tell you all how I viewed him.
yeah.
I looked at it as like it's going forward. So like our rankings going forward for potential playoff and in the playoff run.
Okay.
So that's how I looked at it. Is like I get it that Miller scored 4th best, but Miller's not making the playoffs, so I had him very low. Mike hasn't had any big weeks. I don't know. I think he broke 130 once, so I had him very low. Parker has consistently scored the most points week in and week out, and finally had his worst week, and he still has the most points in the league with Paul scoring the most we've ever had. So that's why I had Parker at number 1, Paul at number 2. So mine was like a power ranking going into the playoffs and onward, not necessarily what has happened. Because, yeah, you've had shit fucking luck. Lots of teams have that. It's like, oh, someone got injured. Something happened. Yeah, that's just how it fucking goes sometimes.
Yeah, there seems to be like two ways to think about it. There's like, how do you think that the literal placements are going to be by end of season? That's one way to do it at the end of the season. And then, so like you kind of got to think about schedule a little bit. And then there's also like just what on average, like which teams do you think are better, regardless of if they had to play each other each week? Like basically over the course of 1,000 games, how would all of their teams perform in order? And that's like a totally different question. So it's hard to say.
Okay. So, all right. Andrew was 8th. Daniel was 7th. Gabe was 6th. Charlie was 5th. Brad was 4th. Dustin was 3rd. Paul 2nd. Parker alone at the top and number 1.
Actually, Paul and Dustin are tied. So are Gabe and Daniel.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
In your ranking, I guess it didn't put them at like
I was gonna write some code to like put them at the same number, but that's like
So-
it's a little complex. I didn't do it.
so 7-7. Yeah. All right, cool. That makes more sense. It should be noted though, Dustin had the most first place votes.
Yeah, which is
Dustin had
interesting.
5 first place votes. Parker had 3. Paul had 2.
And Andrew ranked Dustin at 6, so that's gonna influence it quite a bit. That's why he's dragged down.
Fucking
I think without that, Dustin would be number 1.
yeah.
Brad
'cause
has him at 4.
Sometimes I think they just look at their names and they're like ranking them by how much they like them.
I think Charlie's actually Charlie. I think his are the most like crazy, but I think his are probably the most accurate
Was
to
that
actual.
your stomach?
Damn it! I was really hoping the mic wouldn't pick that up. Yeah, I had a big old Chipotle bowl before we started, dude.
That was amazing.
I like Charlie's rankings. Like he put me at 6, but like if you look at my team right now and rest of the season, I already said it. I don't think it's that good. Charlie's rankings are, I think they're pretty fair. He's got Dustin at 4 though, Andrew at 2, which is like kind of the crazy stuff.
What does he have me at 8?
Yeah.
Charlie, I'm better than that.
What's the highest you got ranked other than yourself? You got a 7 from Mike, 7 from Daniel. Basically everybody in the league that you've blown.
That's not funny. All right. So with that, we're going to go to the next. As you all saw on Snapchat this week, I had on Monday a fucking hour-long conference call. So what did I do during that? I went through and predicted the rest of the season on how it's going to end. And now we're going to go over that. So we already went over the standings. Currently, it goes from first to last place. Dustin, Parker, Paul, Brad, Daniel, Gabe, Charlie, Dex, Mike, Miller. Dustin at the top, Miller at the bottom. Now, this is how Dex sees it ending out. Parker, jump in when you see fit.
Mm-hmm.
I have Miller, who is currently 3-7, going 3-10. I have Miller not winning another game.
Wow. Do you know who he plays in that span?
I did. I don't not right meow.
It's fine. I'm not gonna be able to look it up every time. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Maybe it kind of seems like fun. What's his team name? Super Bowl Champ 52. Shitty. And then just go to schedule. All right. So he's playing Daniel, Charlie, Gabe. Honestly, all 5-5 teams not winning another game. I think he'll win one of those.
Daniel, Charlie, and Gabe, as long as he only beats Daniel. I need him to, no. Daniel, Charlie, and Gabe.
He'll lose to Charlie.
Are you sure it's Daniel, Charlie, and Gabe?
Yep.
So actually, I need him to beat 2 of those. I hope he loses to Daniel, beats Charlie, and beats Gabe because that benefits me the most. Okay. But that's not how I have it playing out.
Got it.
And then we have Mike, who I have going 4-9, so also not winning another one. And he goes Dustin, Paul, Dex, which is a pretty easy one. Then I have Gabe going 6-7, so that would give Gabe only winning one more. And Gabe goes Parker, Daniel, Miller. Then I have
win one more, and I have him winning this week. So
I have, and then Charlie. So this rounds out the people not making the playoffs. So I have Charlie also going 6-7, and he finishes with Paul, Miller, Parker. So I have him beating Miller.
Okay. And not making the playoffs anyways?
Not making the playoffs. So he'll end with only one more win. Now we go into the actual people who make the playoffs. And that's Brad, Dex, Daniel, Paul, Parker, Dustin. Giving Dustin and Parker a bye. Daniel versus Dex in the first round. Paul versus Brad in the first round.
Wow. I'm surprised you have me winning out. I have me winning one more game and getting into the playoffs right now.
Parker, you might lose every game from here on out.
I might. Let's see if AJ Green practiced today, so things might be changing around from my doom and gloom.
Practiced also because he's no longer in concussion protocol.
Those certainly help. That gives me quite a bit of faith. But Bears are playing New Orleans, or no, the Rams.
So if I'm correct, guys, Daniel and Dex will play round 1, and the winner will go on to play, I believe, Dustin. And then Paul versus Brad, and the winner will go on to play Parker.
Sorry, I'm doing the viewership portion of things. So I just got your predictions up now since you've gone through all of them. This is interesting. Do you already have a take on who you think's going to win the playoffs?
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Dex.
Yeah. But other than that.
So if I was allowed to bet on one person that wasn't me, I would say Brad. And it's not because of him being it's kind of like his team is the most consistent. Like if you go and look at Brad's scores in the last 5 weeks, it's like 128, 132, 128, 132, 126, 135. And it's just kind of like Brad just fucking throws around in that area at all times. And like that's how like that's easy to get knocked off by those when a lot of we're seeing right now is people going 173, 95. Like
Oh,
you're
yeah, who would
jumping
do that?
when you're jumping around that hard, like you'll get beat by the consistent player. You got to gamble on the consistency.
Yeah, it's just that as a guy who has had those teams before that have some like not that I deserved it, but I scraped together like what previous like 100 like like mid 90s every week. It doesn't win the playoffs against the teams that are that good that will have they might not win because they'll have those boomer bust weeks, but you'll get beaten in the playoffs over the course of 3 games.
Yeah, I will say the year we don't ever talk about, I beat Charlie 76-74 in the championship, and we were the 2 lowest scoring people in the league that week.
I'm sorry, what was that? I think your mic might be broken. I didn't hear anything for the last 10 seconds.
Never forget.
Is that Go ahead.
That's all I got to say about that.
Dude, that's all I think that's all we got for the podcast. Which is fucking weird because we've been only on for about 42 minutes.
Yeah. So one, we're gonna raise our hands. Not our best form, boys. Usually coming off a bye, you come out strong and ready. We could have been better. I'm gonna say that. I think you guys got a lot of good facts and information. Was the rah-rah in it? I don't know. But here's the next week.
Do you want to whip up an epic rant to save this podcast real quick?
The problem is, I've made this very. I hope everyone believes it. I don't like plan though. Like they're not like something where I'm just like I'm gonna go crazy off. It's like emotions are actually coming out of me. Like
Yeah.
I am legitimately going in emotion. Like if I had something that got me going right now, it would. If maybe like after Miller talking shit to me and pissing me off like last week, but that whole week already passed. So I can't do that right now, which I would love to, but it's like I can't get it. It's like I can't fake the emotion that I get because then it'll be really bad. And I want them to, when they hear it, they know like, good, fucking Dex is going. Because I'll tell you guys, like my heart when I do those is like beating out of my chest.
I wish we could record you afterwards, just laying on the floor, panting, begging for ice.
There's fuck ices.
Do you know in the podcast with the chicks that you listen to, and their behind the scenes thing, how like they took off their every episode when right when it ended, they just it was the worst fucking episode of all time, and they just every single episode they do that.
Did you watch the behind the scenes?
Yeah, I did.
That? I didn't.
You linked it to me.
Yeah, but I
all
didn't
of us.
Watch it.
Why not? Why did you link it to us then?
To be fair, I was at my mom's and I just didn't have time.
How did you link it though?
I want to watch it. I'm glad you reminded me. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
It wasn't that good.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
No, it was pretty boring actually.
Cool.
But I realized that I got their names backwards, so that helped.
Yeah, then I don't ever have to watch it now.
Do you feel like we're just like ad-libbing the last like 20 minutes of this podcast to give our people what they need?
No, because I feel like we already said like this wasn't the greatest and it wasn't the best ever, and shit happens, boys. I was like, you got to get the shitty times to appreciate the good times. Like you got to get that boring like missionary sex to appreciate that dirty spit in my ass, smack me, fucking going sex.
Gotta have a little bit of salt to appreciate the pepper. That's what I was gonna say before you took it off to fucking Mars.
I will say I don't like salt that much. Pepper's the shit.
Seriously?
Yeah, good call. I'm not a big salt guy. Brad. So I made not last night, but the night before I made zucchini that was broiled with some garlic salt, and then hamburger with some black beans with a little bit of salt. And Brad's like, "That's all the salt you're gonna put in there?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I don't like a lot of salt." He's like, "I would have done like 5 times that much." I was like, "No, that sounds horrible." Like you're just eating salt then. I was like, "What's the point? I want to taste meat." So we like argued back and forth about like how much salt's supposed to be on the meat.
Of which you were wrong, of course.
How am I wrong?
The salt's great, dude. Everyone's
saying-
deficient in salt, anyways, bro.
They are not deficient in salt.
No, dude. Listen, I saw a doctor on the Joe Rogan Experience who said everyone's deficient in salt.
We also saw Connor's like nutritionist on the Joe Rogan Experience.
That was the worst. That was the fucking worst. How has Connor ever made weight? That guy's a fucking idiot.
That poor guy.
Think Miller's gonna
Did you
cut this
see,
part?
Huh?
Said, do you think Miller's gonna cut this part?
I don't give a fucking. Did you see Connor's gonna fight Cowboy Cerrone or potentially?
No, I didn't. That's interesting.
That's the next match. They're just saying they're waiting for Connor to sign a contract.
Did you see what happened with Floyd fighting that guy in Japan, Risen?
It already got like canceled.
Yeah. Apparently, like, God, what was it that I read happened?
Did Floyd learn that the rules were kickboxing rules?
I
And how
think
he would get his ass fucking beat.
Well, he made a statement that basically said, like, hey, by the way, sometimes I do private shows for rich people, like private exhibition boxing matches, and that's what I thought this was. And when I got there, there was a fucking press conference, and it was clearly not what it was, and I'm not doing that shit. So basically, he got tricked into thinking it was like, I don't know, some rich people's private event thing.
God,
That's
be
crazy to think about.
that good at something that someone would pay you millions of dollars just to box, like fuck.
Isn't that kind of weird though that like Floyd Mayweather like basically just like goes to like these like small rooms and puts on like boxing shows for just rich people?
So think about it at your level. So how much money you make, and I'm like generalizing because I don't know how much he actually has and how much you
Okay,
actually
so
have.
I make X amount.
Yeah. So say like someone was like, "Hey Parker, I'll pay you $1,000 to come and roll around on the mats for 10 minutes with one guy."
Yeah, I'd do that, but I'm not Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah. So I'm assuming they're like, "We'll pay you $2.5 million to fly here." Because do you want to know how much?
2.5 million.
I don't know. I know that J-Lo went to some place in Dubai or something and literally flew there, did a 20-minute set and flew back for $4 million.
Dude, Dubai is a long, long flight.
$4 million, Parker.
I don't know if I would do it, man. I'm just kidding. I would totally
And
do
I'm
that.
pretty sure they paid for the private jet for her.
Yeah, they'd have to. Oh yeah, private jet wouldn't be as bad. I forget that they get to do that. Dude, something I want to do with all these rewards points I'm racking up on my credit card is like take one of those flights where you get a bed, like that private of a jet.
Yeah, that better be a long flight though. You better be going to like Ireland or something.
They don't even let you have those planes on flights not to
You
Ireland.
book one to like Vegas.
Vegas just I'm gonna fuck on the bed and then I'm gonna get to Vegas and then I'm gonna fly back.
Hey Parker,
What's up?
are you looking at me?
Mhm.
I see you too. I just want to let you know something.
Oh.
Fuck Daniel.
Fuck Daniel.
I like to make money, get turned. I like to make money, get.
Also, I'm a little hard because it's No Fap November.